Let's go right to the Middle East now, where ISIS is trying to gain new ground in Iraq. According to the Washington Post, ISIS seized 2 new villages in the Mount Sinjar region yesterday. That's the same area where President Obama authorized airstrikes in August to help save Yazidi civilians from the ISIS threat. Meanwhile, in an apparent shift from previous positions, Turkey says it will now allow Iraqi Kurdish fighters to cross its border into Syria to help defend Kobani. And joining me now in Washington, Shadi Hamid, the Director of Research at the Brookings Doha Center, and on the phone in Istanbul, Sophia Jones, Middle East correspondent for the World Post. Sophia, I want to start with you. You wrote about this last night. What led to the change of heart from Turkish officials?
Turkey has been put under major pressure from the U.S. and other states who say that Turkey just isn't doing enough in the fight against the Islamic State. And so they had to give a little. And Turkey says that it will not arm the fighting force in Kobani because it has direct links to the PKK, which they've been fighting for 30 years. So in doing this, they give a little bit, but not too much.
And Shadi, could this decision in any way be a turning point in the fight over Kobani?
I think that's what we're seeing right now. I mean, the intense fighting continues, but there seems to have been a shift in momentum. I mean, if you recall, just as recently as last week, U.S. officials were warning that Kobani might fall. But there's a number of things that have happened. The U.S. is now carrying out airdrops of ammunition and light arms to the Kurdish fighters. Turkey has changed its position, which is key, and that will allow reinforcements to come across the border. But that will take a couple days. But I think for now, morale is up in Kobani, and you hear that from Kurdish leaders, that they feel they have a chance to repel ISIS now. And that, I think, shows that you need to have 2 factors. Strong U.S. and international commitment through airstrikes and airdrops, along with local ground forces that are actually willing to fight.
And Sophia, the senior advisor to Turkey's foreign minister who made the announcement yesterday, wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal called "What Turkey Wants in the War on ISIS" and railed against the idea that Turkey would help the Syrian Kurds. He writes, quote, "Arming PKK's Syrian affiliate is tantamount to giving weapons to the PKK, who will guarantee that the weapons given to PYD will not end up in the hands of the PKK." Talk about these dynamics within Turkey. What are they playing out there politically on this issue?
Well, they're terrified that a Kurdish enclave inside Syria, which borders Turkey, will just become stronger. And by the U.S. or anyone giving support to the fighting force in Kobani that's there right now, they are, in effect, aiding the PKK in a way, which has been fighting the Turkish state for 30 years. So Turkey is absolutely terrified of these dynamics.
And Shadi, so far, the folks at Kobani said they haven't seen any change or any shift or any movement. But can Turkey be trusted to follow through on their words?
Well, they've made a public commitment now. I think it would be difficult for them to reverse that. The U.S. has been putting a lot of pressure. I mean, let's keep in mind that this comes after weeks of negotiations, and the U.S. has been publicly quite unhappy with Turkey's behavior. So it's partly a result of international pressure, and I think the Turks also are only going to support the Kurds that it's comfortable with. So, you know, as Sophia said, it's only going to go so far in a way that it's comfortable. But we'll have to wait and see it. And in any case, the reinforcements will take time to come. And the question is ISIS going to make an aggressive move? There are signs today that it's intensifying its fighting. So it's going to get, I think, pretty intense this week.
Shadi Hamid and Sophia Jones, thank you both. And I want to bring in Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and chairwoman of the Subcommittee of the Middle East and North Africa. Thank you, Congresswoman, for being with me.
Thank you, Jose.
This statement by Turkey, as Shadi was saying, it may take some time, but do you think this is a big difference? Is this making some kind of a change?
Well, at least it's a positive step forward. And for Erdogan, who's been so non-appreciative of international efforts to remove the cancer that is ISIS, any small step could be considered a big step. We hope that it leads him to be more of an international player for the positive good of that community. The Kurds are willing to take the fight to ISIS. Thank goodness that our military is now doing those airdrops of ammunition, arms, medical supplies, and we think that this could be a turning point.
What do you think Turkey should be doing that it isn't doing?
Well, it has done so little. It has been a player not for the solution, but part of the problem. Because of their internal political issues, they've let that get in the way of truly defeating ISIS. And then you've got the issue of what about Assad? You can't defeat ISIS unless you go after Assad as well. And then that becomes a problem with Iran because they want Assad to stay. And there are a lot of inner dynamics working there. But what we're looking at is the big picture. Let's get rid of Assad. Let's get rid of ISIS. Who's willing to help us in that? But not Iran. Iran is not going to be a consideration.
I want to switch to something that you've been very passionate of. Actually, the whole South Florida delegation in Congress has been really key on Haiti and the situation in Haiti. The president, the Obama administration announced at the beginning next year, thousands of Haitians approved for visas under the family reunification program will be allowed to come in. It takes up to 12 years for folks in Haiti who legally get permission to come to the United States to come because of these quotas.
That's right, Jose, and I think this is a great step forward because we have seen that united families, unified families, is positive for the United States, for communities. These Haitians have already been approved. They've been properly vetted. You know what a great contribution they've made to our South Florida community, and that is the leading economic driver for Haiti. Remittances from Haitian Americans back to their family members in Haiti. It's billions of dollars every year. Haiti needs that, and these are people cleared. They're going to add to the richness of the diversity of South Florida and New York, and lots of places.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, God, waiting 12 years after legally being allowed to go somewhere, it just seems so illogical.
And remember that these folks have folks here
family
in the United
members
States
that are citizens or residents.
Absolutely. So they've already got this safety net, and also it's good for Haiti to recover from this earthquake. I've been there many times, and it looks like the earthquake was only yesterday. So they need the help. They're our partner. They're our hemispheric partner. We need to help them. This is a step forward.
Do you think this is a step on issues in the future we may be dealing with? So, for example, the president has promised before the end of the year to deal with immigration, possibly doing something like this for, let's say, the parents of DACA children.
Well, I hope so. And of course, we have then the dilemma of executive action versus congressional legislation. And that's going to bring up a lot of different dynamics going on in D.C. But anything that unifies families in a safe, legal, and orderly way is positive for the well-being and the national security of our country.
Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, Congresswoman of Florida, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jose.
Pleasure to see you as
it.
always. Thank you.